So projection is that process whereby we can become aware of our shadows. And so here's a little quote by James Hollis. He says, projection is one of the psyche's ways of trying to make the new moment familiar. So what we end up doing is we overlay that which is familiar to us onto new situations, people, and so on. And so some of that overlay comes from our unconscious mind, right? It's our way of just making the new moment familiar. So stereotyping and all of these things is just a natural human process because we have to sort of find a way of categorizing this new situation, person, and so forth in a way that it makes sense to us. So in this way, others act as scapegoats for our shadow in this sense, right? We don't own the shadow ourselves. In fact, we have totally disavowed ourselves from it. We don't want to have anything to do with that type of way of being because we've learned way back in our early years that this will, cause us to be rejected. However, we see these perceived attributes in others through projection. Okay, so as I also said, it shows up also. This projection takes place in the form of dreams as an antagonistic character of the same sex in our dreams. So projections, once again, just like the shadow, can be both positive and negative. A lot of times we might be triggered in a negative way by others, okay? And this is because of the fact that they are acting as scapegoats for our shadow, and they are the screen upon which we are projecting our shadows onto them. And so we may end up getting annoyed, frustrated by people when we see our shadow projected upon them. But also when we hold a deep sense of admiration for someone, it could be a celebrity or an actor, or it could be somebody that we look up to in our families, it could be whatever. But if we have this fawning sort of attitude towards them where we really admire this person, then that is also a form of projection as well, and is indicative of an aspect of the self that you possess that you are actually seeing in that person. So once again, this speaks to the idea of the shadow containing both negative and positive traits in that sense. So when we project onto other people, that causes a lot of times some sort of emotional trigger in us.